astrology forecast for May 2016. Thanks for joining me. Two of your personal planets are in retrograde this month, and you'll notice that straight away. The first one is Mercury, the planet of communication. That's in retrograde from the 28th of April until the 22nd of May, and it's in your second house of Taurus. So financial things might take a little bit longer than usual. Really make sure you get all the details correct there and be ready for delays. The other retrograde planet is Mars, and that's in retrograde from the 17th of April until the 29th of June, and that's in your 9th house of travel and education and exploration in Sagittarius. So during that period, you're going to feel a lack of desire to move, to travel, to learn new things, and I think your focus will be much more on making your home environment more comfortable. So use that to your advantage. Focus on improving your family relationships, your home, and don't fight against it. On the 1st of May, a grand trine occurs in your chart, which is an area of real talent, and that's in Earth. It connects your Sun, Jupiter, and Pluto, and it has to do with work. And what you'll notice is that your working life has a lot of potential. You feel very diligent and like you've got the energy and drive to put effort into your work. You'll feel kind of lucky that the powers that be, the right people are watching you at the right time, and that's going to have the potential to really transform your working life. So at the beginning of this month, really look out for opportunities or, the boss kind of presenting you with something, but there's really a lot of room for growth here. On the 2nd and 3rd of May, the focus kind of shifts now, and Venus moves into 2 degrees of your second house in Taurus. Okay, so you do have a great love for your work at the moment, but you also have great love and time for romance, especially the physical side of romance and relationships. Okay, so if you're in a relationship, you're really going to feel a great sense of attraction. If you're single, you'll be kind of wearing rose-tinted spectacles, and you'll be seeing attractiveness, beauty in things and people where you don't usually see it, okay? So it's a really positive kind of romantic couple of days where things really look a lot more positive. So it's at 2, 3, and 4 degrees, and all of those degrees here for the planet of love, Venus, they're very much about cooperation and security and feeling nurtured and feeling attracted to and positive about other people. On the 4th of the month, there's a grand trine that happens now in fire, and that really allows you to make progress when it comes to your career. So if the question is, do I stand up? Do I say, this is what I want, this is what I want to achieve? Or do I just blend in the background and keep things quiet and act like a little mouse in the back? Then really step into the limelight and say, this is how I want things to progress. Take on a leadership position. It will really allow you to overcome an obstacle and help you feel more passionate and enthusiastic about your working life. And also, if there's something that you've struggled to overcome until now, this is the day to try again. And it blends and meshes in with this transformation energy, which I mentioned at the beginning of the month, and you really have the potential to make a lot of progress when it comes to your career. On the 5th of May, the moon starts to conjunct your midheaven, and that's a continuation, that's the next step forward of the energy of the 4th of May. And really, if you continue to push things forward, you can really create a lot of progress in your working life. So if you're ambitious to succeed, if you want to be promoted, if you want the boss to take notice of how well you're doing, the first week of May here is really amazing for that. So really put the effort in. You will be noticed and you'll get the recognition that you want. On the 6th of May, the new moon occurs, and the new moon is when the moon is totally black and it pulls energy in. It pulls Taurus and energy into your second house. Again, you're going to have this love for the physical. You're going to have love for your career, and also you might get some sort of news that signals a new beginning in one of those 2 areas. So those are the 2 areas of your life that are the best so far. love and work. So there's great hope here, and there's a lot of reason to be optimistic because things are transforming for the better. On the 7th of May, the Sun, Mercury, and the Moon, they form a conjunction in your second house. And even though Mercury is in retrograde and things are somewhat labored and stifled when it comes to money, I think you'll receive some news here in terms of your career placement situation. But, you know, I'm doing this forecast for every Aries, so all of the people born during that 1 month period. So it's going to look different for different people who watch this. Some people will get a message from the boss saying, we want you to move to the office, you know, in a different country, and we're going to pay you more money. Other people will get an idea that says, hey, I've got an amazing concept for a new business that I could start. But the point of it is that it's newness, it's a fresh new idea that comes in, and that if you move on that, you can really make it something great. On the 9th of May, Jupiter, the planet of good luck and good fortune, goes direct. So this retrograde thing is a big theme here in May. It's when a planet seems to be going backwards. It doesn't actually, it just looks like it's moving backwards. And Jupiter is an outer planet. It moves very slowly, and it spends a lot of time in retrograde, about half a year usually. So the fact that it's going direct on the 9th of May is really significant because it indicates a period where more good luck, more positivity comes into your life and really allows you to expand. It's in Virgo, the sign of practical action, and your 6th house of day-to-day routine and work means that if, again, it's all about if you put the effort in, you can really transform things. Now the good luck of Jupiter supports that, and transformation can occur in your working life. So again, this is great news for anyone who's unhappy in their job or who wants things to change and who feels stuck, because if you kind of just push things a little bit, there's great room and potential for transformation and growth. On the 10th of May, the moon begins to trine Neptune. And this is an amazing day now, totally different. Neptune is the water planet of dreams. It's in a water sign. It's in Pisces in your 12th house of spirituality. And the moon is in another water sign in Cancer in your 4th house of family. So you're going to really have this idealized notion of what family could be. Your heart is going to be overflowing. Think about the Ace of Cups in the Tarot, and you're really going to feel this magical, mystical sense of belonging when it comes to your family life. This is the best day so far for family relationships. There's a lot of good happening for you in May. Love, career, family. It looks really, really positive. On the 12th, there's a T-square that occurs, and it connects Jupiter and Neptune, and together they square Saturn. So the dream and the reality are really going to align and come together and push any obstacles and hurdles out of the way when it comes to your working life. But it may involve you to actually travel or to learn something new, and that's where it becomes a little bit complicated. Because remember, Mars is in retrograde, and you're not going to want to start new things or explore new areas. So you have a lot of room for decision making here, but the potential is there to really overcome yourself and overcome your own feelings of reluctance. So try and, what's that expression? Kind of try and, you know, escape your own shadow. And if you do, again, the theme of transformation when it comes to your working career life is emphasized, and you can make great inroads. On the 13th of May, your moon is right on top of your rising sign in Leo, and that's in the 5th. You're going to feel very confident, very comfortable, and very much aligned with the kind of fun sides of life. The two elements that are strongest on this day are fire and earth. So, passion, fun, romance, sex, enthusiasm. It's a wonderful day for that on the 13th. Really make time for that to spend it with your loved one. If you're single, go out and have some fun. you can really, really benefit from that on this day, and you'll feel alive and you'll feel a sense of enthusiasm. And often tapping into that kind of energy can be far more helpful than sitting somewhere and trying to figure out all your problems. You know, if you're just like having a scream with someone and laughing, that is you're able to drop so much negativity, and you can really move things forward. So tap into that on the 13th of May. You have great potential to have a fabulous time. On the 14th, the moon is now in Virgo, and it squares Saturn, begins to square Saturn, and that continues until the 17th of May for the next 3 days, okay? So the moon is now in Virgo. You're naturally very discerning, and you're naturally opposed to moving things forward, okay? So you're going to be very detail oriented, and it's interesting for you, Aries, but you're going to have the potential to really nitpick and focus on the details of your life, and to really get rid of the stuff you don't like, and to maximize the things you do want, to create more security and stability. So this is like a spring clean kind of energy. It's a energy of sorting through things and making them better. So whether you're having a spring clean on your Facebook page to get rid of people that you no longer have connections with, or whether you're trying to arrange your working life in such a way that it becomes more enjoyable and happier on a practical level, you really have the time to fill out forms, to look at the very intricate, detailed side of life, and you won't get bored with that. Because sometimes you, Aries, you want to know that you're moving forward and that you're making progress, and you're not so interested in, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. You just want things to move forward. So if there is anything that you don't usually have the patience for, the 14th to the 17th is a great time to spend on that. So if you're applying for a visa, or if you're doing anything that involves you kind of being focused and calm enough to really get into the intricate nitty-gritty of things, then do it during this time. Okay, on the 17th then, Mars begins to oppose the Sun, and it does that until the end of May. Mars' energy, its drive, remember it's in retrograde, and the Sun is your identity. So when the Sun and Mars are kind of at a standoff, it's a very masculine, very powerful energy, and the way that's going to translate for you is, again, to focus on your career and focus on the practical, tangible, real world and what you can change and transform. Also, it really heightens your libido again. So May, you're very much going to be interested in the birds and the bees and what goes on in that side of your life. So again, don't block yourself and just go with it. On the 18th, the moon opposes Uranus. Uranus is in your sign of Aries. It has been in your sign of Aries for a long time. But on this day, you'll have a great ability to convince other people to see things your way. So if you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to get people on board with a project, or you want people to like your partner or something, if you do have to do any convincing, if you do have to express things clearly to get support, 18th is the day to do it. The next day then, on the 19th, your rising sign, the Ascendant, begins to square your Sun and Venus. Now, the Sun and Venus sitting together in your second house, that's really responsible for a lot of these things that I've been talking about. The love for your work, the love, the love of physical connections. Because it squares this rising sign now in Leo, it's a great day of passion. And again, it's a great day to be able to experience something that's fun and that makes you feel alive. It's a great day to present something or to talk to people in a working situation. And it's also a good day to approach someone you're interested in. Anything that makes you feel a little bit nervous or alive or dangerous, it's going to have a good outcome if you actually put the practical action in. The full moon occurs on the 21st in Sagittarius, and that is in your 8th house of other people. Okay, so it offsets the moon, it offsets Mars rather in retrograde. It's right next to this retrograde Mars, and you will be able to expand a little bit. If you do want to go and travel at some point during May, I would say that the full moon is a good time to do it. Mercury then goes direct on the 22nd, the day after. That is still in your 2nd house in Taurus, so the financial side of things will start to flow more naturally and will be less labored, and it will go back to normal, so you can relax a little bit there now. On the 23rd, the moon starts to conjunct Saturn, and this is an interesting day because you're absolutely going to feel like you're right about absolutely everything. No one can argue with you on this day. You're going to be obstinate, you're going to be stubborn, and you're going to have like a donkey mask on because you're really going to be a bit of a... There's real potential for you to not see anyone else's point of view and to be a bit of a pain in the backside. So just be aware of that and go into the 23rd of May really saying, hang on, you know, I'm going to be a little bit obstinate today, and just work with that, because you're going to feel so certain about your own opinion. And you know, no man is an island, and you have to continue to work and engage with other people, so just make allowances for that. On the 24th, Venus now goes into Gemini, okay? So this major focus on the body, on sex, on physical relationship eases off a little bit, and you become far more interested in ideas and words and communication in a verbal sense, and things get much lighter and they feel much more active, and like a lot more is going on, and I think you'll start to get a lot of ideas that you are now dying to communicate with other people. So it's a great month for you up until today for sex and romance, and to really build intimacy with another person. And whether you're in a relationship or single, you can really make a lot of inroads either way. On the 26th, there's a T-square in the chart, and it connects Mars and the Sun and your rising sign, and it's a great time to edit your own ideas. Remember that you've had that Mars in retrograde all month, which is kind of diverting you from listening to other people's ideas and traveling and educating yourself. And it's very much a month where you're certain of yourself and you're focusing on your own ideas, and that's what you're most interested in. With this connection with the rising sign now on the 26th, it's a good idea, and it's a good opportunity for you to actually check in with yourself to see if you're making sense, you know, if your head is in the right place. Because there is a little bit of obstinacy, if that's a word, you being a little bit obstinate, involved here in this month. And if you want to have an objective opinion, today is a good day to share your ideas with someone else and to actually listen to their feedback, or to look at things yourself and to edit them down from yourself. You know, so if you're an artist and you think up until this day you think everything you do is absolutely fabulous, but no one's buying the pictures and you haven't understood why, then today is a good day to have another look at it and see what's actually putting people off. Okay, it's that kind of a day where you can really be honest with yourself. On the 28th of May, Mars goes into Scorpio. It retrogrades into Scorpio in your 8th house. And Mars in Scorpio is really unhappy, okay? Mars is the soldier. It's looking into moving things forward. In retrograde, it's not happy anyway, but in Scorpio, it gets really kind of subversive and dark. In your 8th house, you're really going to be looking at the negatives in other people rather than the positives. So the way the month started, where you had these rose-tinted spectacles on and you saw the beauty in everyone, now at the end of the month, it's the opposite. And if someone has some sort of personality flaw, there's potential for you to immediately say, well, that's a bad person, and write them off completely. So with that Mars placement here at the end of the month, really be careful about any big decisions you make in your relationships, because you are going to be focused on the negative. On the 29th, 30th and 31st of the month, now there's a Grand Cross. It connects a lot of spiritual energy with your lack of openness. It also connects your diligence and your ability to create great transformation in work, and then your love for communication, okay? So things start to open up a little bit, especially if there's a spiritual angle. And these 3 days now are the best days for you when it comes to spirituality, education, actually receiving information, and opening things up so you become teachable again, which you haven't been for the majority of the month. So if you do want to learn something, keep it till the end of May, because you're not going to be so blocked off. You know, we all have that sometimes. Sometimes we think we're right and I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anyone else's opinion. I just want to focus on what I'm doing. And that can be a good thing. You know, if you want to write a book, you've got to believe in your ideas and think about what you're saying. And if other people say, well, that's not right and that's not right, you never get anywhere. So make the most of it. Transform your work. That's the best thing you've got going on for you in May. Get practical and really make a lot of progress and inroads in that sector of your life. So I hope that's given you something to go on. If you'd like a private astrology reading, then please get in touch via my website. Like I said, this is for all Aries, okay? So this is, it allows for all people born during that 30-day period. So a personal astrology reading will focus on your specific date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth, which really narrows this down. So if you are interested in that, the website is gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and then choose your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, and I will speak to you next month for your Aries forecast. But in the meantime, I'm also here on the channel for the daily tarot reading. I'm just trying to think what else I do now. I do little other bits and bobs, astrology related, couple of vloggy little videos. So have a look at the channel, please subscribe, and I will speak to you soon.